Hey guys, the first question is from Jesse C. I have a body language problem. When I'm making eye contact with girls, they usually turn their heads away. Should I keep making eye contact? First of all, what do you mean they usually turn their heads away? Is this happening with every single girl that you talk to? Or is this just happening once or twice? Because if it's every now and then, it's really not that big of a deal. Some girls are just going to be shy, and some girls just don't want to talk to you. You can't really help that. But if this is happening all the time, you might be coming across as creepy, and that you do need to fix. So what I would tell you to do is tell a friend to record you when you're talking to a girl or when you're approaching a girl, and notice if you're doing anything weird. When you're making very strong eye contact with a girl, it's very important not to have a deadpan face. By deadpan, I mean completely blank stare with no expression. If you look like you're having a good time or you look happy, keeping very strong eye contact will not be creepy no matter what. So just be mindful of what kind of expression is on your face. Do you look like someone who wants to be there, someone who's having fun talking to this girl, or do you look like a serial killer? If it's the latter, then consciously fix your expression, and after a while, it will become part of who you are. Kong actually used to have a very big problem with this. He would have a completely blank face while making very strong eye contact with a girl, and he looked creepy. That's the best way to explain it. He just looked very creepy because he had no expression on his face, yet he was making direct eye contact with the girl, not even flinching, because he heard, hey, keep strong eye contact. That's how girls become attracted to you. But like I said earlier, you need to look like you're having fun, or at the very least, look like you want to be there. Heft Look asks, how did you learn to think quicker, or is it just a matter of practice? I learned enough from you guys that I know what I'm supposed to do in most situations. The problem is, sometimes I don't remember until 10 seconds too late, when the moment/opportunity has passed. Example, I'm pretty witty over text messages, but in person and over the phone, I'm not nearly as funny because I don't have that extra time to think. Thinking quicker or being more witty comes down to one thing, and that is comfort. Are you comfortable in your situation? Are you comfortable talking to complete strangers, more specifically females? Think about when you're with your friends. Chances are you are much funnier and much wittier when you're hanging out with your friends. But when you're with a stranger, you can't seem to bring out that witty, funny guy that you are when you're just bullshitting with friends. And the only way to be witty and funny and yourself around complete strangers or women is by being very comfortable with them. So you just need to get out there and do a shit ton more approaches until you are very comfortable with it. Another way to be wittier and think faster is to get into God mode. We did a podcast on getting into God mode where we tell you exactly how to do it. And once you're in God mode, everything you do or say is pure gold. And being witty and being funny just comes with being in God mode. So check out that podcast. Jesse A asks, I did some teasing, but I always ended up in the friend zone. Please help. If you are constantly ending up in the friend zone, then you are playing it way too safe with girls. You can't tease girls like they're your little cousin. You have to tease them like they're someone that you're actually sexually attracted to. Teasing should be very flirty and sexually charged. So if you're always ending up in the friend zone, you need to realize that you are playing it too safe and kick it up 10 notches. And then from there, you can dial it back. We've said this before, but it's way easier to go from 150% to 100% than it is to go from 0 to 100%. So go overboard and then dial it back. Dark Angel asks, has this ever happened to you? A girl agrees through text messaging to go out with you the same day. She is interested in knowing you, and then suddenly 2 hours before the date, she doesn't respond anymore, not even to calls. And she never responded after that, not even after weeks. It happened to me twice with 2 different girls. So if you're going out there regularly and you're meeting girls, getting numbers, going on dates, you're gonna find that this kind of thing is normal. People in general are just flaky. And don't beat yourself up too much over this. This just happens. A few weeks ago, I was actually in your exact same position. I was supposed to go on a date with a girl, and I got ready, took a shower, even put on some nice clothes, and I was about to head out the door. I take out my phone to call her just to verify, and she did not answer. And I also just spoke with her earlier in the day confirming that we're gonna go out tonight. But when it came down to it, she just flaked. She didn't answer her phone, didn't answer her text, and I haven't heard from her since. And that kind of thing just occasionally happens and you can't really help it. JC Poo asks, I have a question. Since you guys are based in California, I feel like the girls there are much more laid back and at ease with random social situations. But I'm from New York, and picking girls up from the street feels a bit more difficult with the abundance of people and fast-paced lifestyle. Do you have any tips or remarks about my situation? The three of us went to New York, and here's what I found. It's pretty much the exact same thing. New York is a little bit faster paced, but once I got used to that, it was the same thing. And don't ever use that as an excuse to not pick up girls. Just because you're in a different state or a different city and you're not used to the surrounding settings doesn't mean that you have an excuse to not hit on girls. Unless you're in some third world country, it's going to be relatively the same thing. All right, guys, that's it for today, and I will see you next week.